Welcome back to another podcast with Raise Your Vibes. This particular podcast is about learning to let go and forgiving people that have really hurt you, damaged you in your past, present, possibly future. You know, in our various journeys on our lives, there's going to be lots of people who we've come across, friends, family, loved ones, that have, even colleagues from work sometimes, that go out of their way to hurt us. It could be an act of a simple betrayal. When I say simple, I mean something very, very innocent, like telling a secret, to something very severe and something much more complex, where you've had your heart broken, you've been bitterly betrayed. I'm sure all of us will have various examples we can think of when I'm saying these particular things. The one thing we do as human beings, because we're conditioned and we are trained to do this, is that often we will be very, very hurt, and that hurt will linger with us for a long time. Sometimes we will sit, we will cry, we will ask ourselves, why did this happen to me? Instead of asking ourselves, what is this here to teach me? What is this here to tell me about myself that I need to change, that I need to adjust, that I need to alter? And what am I also meant to do in regards to some of these people I have around me? What does it say about me and my boundaries and my relationships within myself? What does it say about my morals? What does it say about my self-respect? What does it say about the love I have for myself if I keep allowing these negative people to stay within my life? I'm not saying every day is full of roses, because it's not. We have good days, we have bad days, and we have people who are out for their own particular agendas as well. And as you grow older, wiser, sometimes we learn this quite quickly, and some of us unfortunately struggle to accept this or change this. There are people in our lives who are going to come and shatter our perceptions, our relationships, our whole dynamics, our whole essence of being, because they can. Our foundations of our lives may not be as strong as we thought they were. We have people who may come in and surprise us with pain that we didn't see unfolding. It might be your husband, your wife, even your daughter, son. It could be a parent, grandparent. It'll be somebody that is close to you, somebody that will shatter your illusion, and somebody that you'll find extremely difficult to let go of because of your bond together on this earth. Just remember, each person that comes into our lives is there for particular lessons, and we are there to have lessons with them. Once the lesson's taught, once the chapter's taught, we move on and we move forward. But one of the things we do as a human being, which is sometimes unforgiving of ourselves, is we hold on to pain and we hold on to the pure resentment of that individual, instead of working on forgiveness, and not necessarily forgetting, but forgiveness of ourselves, of them, of the situation we are in. Sometimes we hold on to a grudge for so long and hate for so long that we don't allow ourselves to forgive. And sometimes you have to do some real deep work within yourself, whether that is working on your inner child, your inner being, your inner soul, whether it's working on your adult self, and trying to take a step back from the situation and look back at it again with a different perspective, and try to analyse why that person, even though they've moved forward, still has a hold on you and your life, and why you are still suffering with pain. It's quite simple. They've moved on. They've moved forward their life. They're not even thinking about you. They're not even holding you within a second of thoughts. Perhaps they're not even on, as Shakespeare would say, this mortal coil. Perhaps they're in a spiritual element, a spiritual realm. But it's us as human beings that that hold on to the pain and that resentment and the anger and the frustration. And partly this is the ego, and partly this is our sort of survival instincts inside of us. But it's also working against us. It's working against our whole spiritual essence. Because whilst we're fighting these small inner demons that we have within us, we're not actually letting go and flourishing and being. Instead, this is like a severe anchor, a weight that will not be shifted, that will not be moved, and it will continue rippling from one relationship to another, to another, to another, till we resolve this issue. As I said, it starts with you, it starts within. Once you go inward, whether it's meditation, praying, asking for help, asking for clarity, you have to do the shadow work. You have to look at why you as an individual are still holding on to that pain and anguish. It's not the other individual, it's you. You are the one who is not letting go. You are the one who is holding on to resentment and to hurt and to pain like a huge anchor, as I've just said. Instead, once you learn to forgive, and the forgiveness is not with the other individual, the forgiveness starts with you. Stop blaming yourself for your prior actions. Instead, learn from it, look forward from it, accept that you were in the wrong. Put your ego aside, accept you were in the wrong, and make that decisive decision. Okay, in the future, should a similar situation like this crop up again, I will not be doing A, B, C, and D. Instead, I'm going to lead with love and light in my heart. I am going to choose to forgive, because once I forgive, I allow myself to be empowered. I'm no longer holding on to dead weight that is carrying around with me from one partner, one friendship, one relationship to another, where it can ripple into everything that you have going. Like I said, your family life, your work life, your private life, all these aspects, it will keep mirroring and rippling till you've dealt with that. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Forgiveness is not an easy thing to do either. Sometimes we hold on to the grudges, sometimes we hold on to that animosity, and it eats away at you. It eats away at you to the core of you, and it will continue to do so. Think of it as like an apple, where you have a worm or an insect slowly eating in on the apple. You take a bite of that apple not knowing there's something inside. And all the while, that little worm has gone in and it has eaten away at the core of that apple, taken away its goodness, taken away the fruit, taken away the fact that this was substance for me to eat. It's no longer that. It's infected. It's diseased. It's decaying. It's also not good for you. You're not going to eat that apple, are you, in that situation it's in? So you must work on getting to the core of your issues, getting to the core of why you've not allowed either the forgiveness to start within or with the other person. Why are you still holding on to the ties, the karmic ties, whatever the spiritual connection is between you and this person? You've got to cut those cords, and you've got to remove the power links. And those of you that are listening will know what I'm talking about. But you must cut those cords, cut the links, and say to yourself, I sever these ties so that I can step forward into my light and be who I'm supposed to be. While ever you are holding on to the past, the present is passing you by. Your future is passing you by. And you are still reliving, replaying, regurgitating old patterns of behaviour that you still haven't moved forward from. Forgiveness, as I said, is not an easy situation. We will have people coming in our lives mirroring all the shadow work that we are supposed to learn whilst we're here. and it is not easy to just simply let it go overnight. Forgiveness takes time. It takes time for you to work on these issues and to step back, to reflect. Nobody's expecting you to forgive something that's been extremely horrific for you in cases of severe trauma, as some of you may be listening in. That forgiveness can take years of hard work, of allowing yourself to work on those deeper pains and allowing them to rise up so that you can address them and you can seek help, whether that's counselling or speaking to friends or just talking through to God and seeking answers. But whilst ever you are holding on to pain and whilst ever you are holding on to grudges and resentment, your life is slowly being eaten away. You might not realise it, but it is. And you are the one who can do something about that. You can move forward with your life, or you can choose to stay stagnant and stay in the same situation you have been all that time. But it's up to you how you decide to do it. You either decide to let go and forgive. And let me tell you something about that forgiveness journey. That forgiveness journey is quite difficult. There will be times when you will be absolutely roaring with tears coming down your face, your heart just feeling so overburdened and overwhelmed. There are times when you might just feel nothing, but you just feel the silence. All of us will have lots of different ways of dealing with that. But the beautiful thing that comes out of it is the peace. The peace, the harmony, the reflection, the maturity and the wisdom to allow you to step forward and move into your light. I'm sure all of us will try our very hardest to do that. Sometimes we don't spot that we're doing these things either, and it takes somebody to spot the mistakes we're making and to point them out. I hope all of us at some point can face our particular journey and our spiritual path without burdens, without heaviness, and we allow ourselves to move forward and carry on living, not existing, but living. And we move into our light, into our being, into our true self, and hopefully we shine. Thank you for listening. I hope that helped. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.